Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome to English 4A. Today, we're gonna work on this is week number 3. So thanks for being here. I was just greeting you before recording, but thanks again for being on time. It's 9:02 and we are ready to start. Happy Saturday. I know that we are early birds and we're working on Saturday, so I'm really grateful for that. Marcela, I think that's Gabby, right? Okay. Let me just start by the attendance. So let's go. Okay, this is where we are. Carlos, by now Carlos is here, right? No, I mean Mateo. Where is Mateo? Mateo. Okay, I'll wait for him. So Monica is here, right? Carlos Julio. Carlitos, I know you're there. Summers, I see Summers too. Fabiana, I think Fabiana is here too. Fabiana. Gabriela Concha, I know you're there. Nancy Cruz, hi Nancy. Thanks for being here. Nancy, Ana Cecilia, okay, let me keep on going. Just kidding.
Hi, good morning.
Hi. Okay. Camila.
Hi, good morning. I have a question. I was on Sunday old class. Also, I asked at the end
Okay.
about something on the platform.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Camila. I'm already checking those last 2 hours. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Ivan has been here, right? Ivan is here already. Maria de Los Angeles. I don't know if she's already here. Otherwise, we can wait for her. Okay. Gabriela Macias. Gabi.
Good morning, present.
Hi, Gabi. Okay.
Hi.
Anthony Montalban. I don't know if Anthony is here yet. I think he's not, right? Anthony? No? Okay. Paula Montiel. Paulita. Okay, let me keep on moving. Veronica. Rocio, she will be here, but later. Okay, she let me know already. Fernando Regalado. Fernando. Hi. Okay. So Fernando's here. Andrea. Madela. Yes. Madela.
María Ángeles.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. And there it says Madela. I'm sorry. Maria Los Angeles. Okay, there you are. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Andrea Roman. No? Okay. Crystal. And Diana, I know I can see Crystal and I can see Diana. Okay. Melanie. Melanie.
Hi, Miss.
Oh, hi. Okay, hi, I can see you now. Kevin. Kevin, no. Okay, Diego. Diego Suarez. Ronald.
Present, Miss. Good morning.
Oh, hi. Hi, Diego. Okay, I'm sorry, Diego. I didn't see you. Okay, there you are. Ronald Torres. No. I saw Ronald, but I don't know what happened. There's something wrong with his camera. Maybe something. Okay, I'll wait. Anadalai and Raisha.
Present, Miss Anna. Good morning.
Okay, hi, and that's Raisha. I can see you, Raisha, with the breech on your back.
Present.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Okay, so we're missing Ronald, Kevin, Rocio, Veronica, Paula, and Anthony, right? Am I right? I think I am, right? If there's something that I did not check, you can always let me know while we are here so I can correct any mistakes that I might have done. Mateo Gila is not here yet. Okay, so let me just start by doing something now that we're here. Ronald, okay, there you are. Ronald, I was calling you. Okay, but don't worry. I know you're here. Okay, Ronald.
Miss, I don't know if I got the
Your
check.
attendance. Let me see. Who is it?
Paula.
Paula, okay, I'm sorry, Paula. I think I did not. Montiel, just give me one moment. I got you here. Okay, I got it now, okay. Thank you for letting me know now. Okay, I just wanted to go through Alticia, just to make sure that we are on the right track and just to make sure that we are very working on the platform. This is how I can check your progress as a teacher, right? This is the access I have given. So this is all of you, right? So as I told you before, when accessing Alticia, the first and most important thing to do is to make sure that you are on the right group and on the right language. So first of all, as you can see, I have different other courses I have taught already. And this is
Miss.
how I can, yes. Summer?
Miss, ¿cuándo es el primer corte?
Yeah, I don't know yet. They have not given me the date for the first deadline, but I think it's usually in the middle of the course. So if this is weekend number 3, right? Next weekend, there's a holiday, so we're not having classes, right? I don't know exactly if that will be by the end of next week, probably. But as soon as I have the date, I will let you know. I don't have the date yet. They have not said when it's gonna be like the first deadline, but it will happen. So before that happens, I just wanted to make sure that you are here, that maybe some of you have already been going through the practices and doing some progress, okay? So
Miss, ¿puedo ver si yo le aparezco? Camila Egas, es porque a mí solo me sale que estoy en A2.2, pero no me sale English Level 4A.
okay, so this is how I can see all of you. So this is Mateo. As you can see, there's like 2 different users. I think they were able to reset the progress that it appeared to be before we even started. So there was kind of a progress already. So I think they managed to like clear it out. And as you can see now, you can see both, right? So this is the one that it was reset, and this is the one that it should be active now. So that's why there's 2 Mateo Agiles, right? There's 2 Carlos Ayalas, there's 2 Monica Añascos. This progress reset, that was from the previous level, but for the previous course. And this should be the one we are learning now, right? This is like the level number 4, right? So this is how I can see all of you. This is Summers, Fabiana's here, Gabriela Concha, Nancy Cruz, Ana Cecilia. There's Camila Egas, you're here. Camila Fernanda. So this is where you
Okay,
are.
thank you.
And as I can see, I mean, there's some progress already, right? You have been working already. This is whatever I can see from my access is what you should be able to see from your access, right? So this is, these are all the practices. And here, this is the language you're practicing. And these are the number of lessons that you are like going through every time you access one of the exercises. Then there's like time accounted, and there's like the number of lessons that are also being accounted to you, right? So this is Camila. How can she know how much progress that she has up to now? There's a way, and I think it's on settings. Let me see if it's on settings. I think it's on the main, let me see. There is a way. Okay, here. Ver el progreso. If you click in here, you should be able to see has a percentage how much you have completed by now. So I think Camila, maybe you have been exploring, like just going through, like checking, and maybe you did couple of practices, so you already have a progress, right? So you already have like 2%, and from the 53 lessons, you already finished 1. So that's something. So as you keep going, this percentage will be increasing, right? And in here, this is what we should be reaching 100% by the end of the course. So by the middle section of the course, we should finish like 50%, half of the whole platform. And then by the end of the course, we should be finished like the whole, all the practices, all the lessons, like 100%. If you want those 2 points, because this will be graded over 2 points. So by the middle of the course, 50%, 1 point. And then the other 50%, the end of the course, another point. So this is really important for you if you want to have a good grade, if you want to like approve the course, like pass the course, this is also be graded. This will also be graded like this. So this is, let's keep checking, okay? Now that everybody's here and everybody can make sure that you're actually on the right track. So that was Camila, Ivan, Maria de Los Angeles. And as I keep going, I will be able to see all my students, okay? Maria de Los Angeles again, Gabriela Macias, there's this Anthony, Paula Montiel, Verónica Rocío, Rocío Catherine, Cristel Camila, Diana Elizabeth, Melanie Nicole, there's Diego Ángel, right? Ronald Torres, Ana Dalai, Alexandra, and let me see, and this is Raisha, okay? So if we click on Raisha's progress reset, this is what it was already reset. So because as it appears that like she had like 37 lessons, but that is not from this course, that was from the last course. So this is actually Raisha Ortega, no, Raisha Daniela in this course, right? So she might already have finished 7 lessons. So those 7 lessons are already 25%. So that's good. So it means that you are, little by little, it's like you are, there's a progress, right? That's why it says progreso global. That's like the percentage. And lecciones validadas, the amount of lessons you have been practicing and you already did. The practices you have done. About what? Vocabulary, grammar, and other practices. It might be reading or listening, so different. And these are the topics that she had already explored, okay? So do not forget, please, it might not be this weekend. I don't know if it will be next weekend, but next weekend we won't have classes because there's like the holiday. But as soon as I have the date, as soon as I know the date, I will let you know. If we are not in classes, I will send you a message through WhatsApp and I will let you know, okay, listen, this is the deadline for the first 50% Alticia progress. So you can be aware how much you have to keep working on. Okay. Yo creo que hasta aquí está bastante claro, ¿no? Yo, la verdad, créanme que perder puntos por no trabajar la plataforma, eso sí que sería una lástima. Really sad. So my suggestion, I was able to work with previous students, and other courses, and we really struggle, but we could, all of them, they could reach at least those 2 points. Those 2 points might be really important to pass the course. So I will always like keep an eye on this and on about everything. There's something else that I asked you to do last week, and I think that was the let's talk about Flipgrid, because this is important too. Everything is important, but this is also important. Why? And I just want to be clear on this too. So by the end of the course, I don't have any complaints. I'm sure it won't happen, but that's why I have to make sure now. So these are the videos, right? This, let's get to know each other. Yes.
Miss, ¿todavía se puede subir los videos?
Let me see. This is the first one, right? That was kind of the introduction video about yourself. In here I think I have how many students actually did complete this. 13 students, so this is where I can see it. Usually I will let this open till the end of the course, but I found that this is not really a good idea because then by the end of the course, there's too much to finish. So I will be setting a deadline for every video. I think for this, there's no deadline, but I think there's another video. That was just the first one, but there's another one about advices, giving advice, right? That was last class. So I think in this one, I already set a deadline, but let me see. Let me go to settings. Let me go to the video settings and let me check if I did or not. So the video was only 1 minute long and see, just give me one moment, details, settings. So on settings, this is like the deadline. So it was scheduled from January 28th up, January 28th up to February the 2nd. So this one I will, let me change this and I will let it open. Oh no, it is already open till tomorrow, Sunday. It will be closing tomorrow, not today. Sunday, February the 4th. Yeah. Time, I don't know if I can see the time. I think it usually finish at the midnight. No, I don't know. That kind of information, I cannot see it in here, just the date. Okay, but I will let it open till next Sunday. Okay, so let me update it. It's not gonna be, it's not gonna expire today. It will expire next weekend. Okay, so you can still have time to do it. So what was the video about? There were different situations where you should give advice to people. It could be advices about losing weight, about different situations. The situations were up to you to think of at least 2, and that was the video. And these are the people who already did it. This is another like, Crystal, Gaby, Nancy, Ana Cecilia, Maria Los Angeles, Mateo, Carlos, Paula, Anthony, Raisha, and Camila. Is there any questions? I think there's someone. Ronald? I don't know if it was Ronald or there was someone with the audio. I don't know if you wanted to add something about the videos. No? The videos are not really that difficult. It's just about if you want to, before recording the video, if you want to go ahead and have like a draft or like a script of whatever you want to talk about in the video, you can do it. But that is up to you. But very important to complete these activities because all of the videos will have a grade. So if you are not submitting these activities, then the class project 20% will not be 20% at the end of the course, okay? So that's why it is important for me to emphasize about completing all the tasks, okay? Is there any other questions? Questions, Diego, Summers, Kevin? No? 100% clear? Okay. Vero? Okay, I thought you wanted to add something else, Vero. So I already extended the deadline, and this is where I'm gonna be working now. Let me show you my slides for this weekend. So these are our slides. Let me share this with you through the chat. So this is week number 3, okay? I'll give you like edition access. So if I want you to write something on this, you will be able to do so. Okay. Those are the slides. As I mentioned before, you can also have like a file within your computer so you can save all the slides, like weekend number 1, weekend number 3, weekend number 4, weekend number 5. There's only 7 weekends. And then weekend number 8, that will be the exam. So if you keep everything organized, you might have access to all the practices. If you did not attend one of the classes, but you still want to do the activities I asked you to do, but you could not do, but you don't want to lose any grades, any points on this class activities, you can always access my slides. So if you need to complete something, if you want to review something, if you did not understand something that you want to go through the practices or the reading or any kind of practice, you can do it, okay? So this is weekend number 3. Okay. So there's something that I wanted you to see, but it's not on the
Working with my
slide.
best friend
Wait, give me
when
a
it
second.
comes to writing. And I'm not just talking.
Okay. So let me share a video with you. Let me see if I can. Okay, there you go. And let me see if you can listen. This is something I have never heard of. I don't know if you might have. And this is Murphy's. Do you know what is Murphy's Law? Have you ever heard of this? So for me, it was new.
Yes, I have heard about Murphy's
What?
Law. It says when something is gonna happen, it will happen even if you want not to happen, it doesn't
It
matter.
will.
It will happen.
So yeah, it was really interesting, right? I didn't know that it's kind of why it's called a law. It's something that is kind of a prediction, and it's like something that even though we don't want like bad things to happen, it might happen, right? And they will definitely happen, no matter what we do or how we try to avoid something bad to happen, it will. And it's called Murphy because I think that, let me show you the video. You might, you might heard about this before, but you might not. So it's always useful it will be learning something new. That is Mr. Murphy, I think. The guy.
Miss, no se escucha.
Teacher, I can hear anything about the video.
Okay, let me see. This is, let me see why, you know what, let me try again. I think it's the way I am sharing this. Oh, okay, I got it. I think I got it. Let me know, okay, if you can listen now. Let me go back. Okay. Hear the noise? The sound? Yes? No? Can you hear it? No?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Maria Los Angeles. Just like that. No sound. So according to Mr. Murphy, this is kind of his this is what this is all about. If right there, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong, no matter what. No matter how hard we try to avoid something wrong to happen, it might happen. And according to Mr. Murphy, it will happen. So that's like for sure. Okay, this is one example about Murphy's Law. You might be driving and it might happen that you forgot your license, your driver's license, and you are praying that nothing bad would happen, right? That there's no police officer, no one will be asking you for your license, but guess what? It will happen. You got busted. Busted is like, there will be a police officer asking you for your license just when you did forget your license at home. But you were praying not to happen, but according to Murphy's law, it will happen. This is just one example. This is another example. So this might happen to teenagers maybe, right? That they are trying, they are, they want to try everything, right? They want to see how it feels, how is it like? And you don't want anyone to notice, right? You don't want to be caught, but according to Murphy's law, it will happen. You can get caught. Can you give me another example? Anyone? Something that it might happen and you think like, oh, no, I don't want it to happen, but then it happened. Is there any example? Has it ever happened to you?
If you get up late, you will be late for job.
No matter how hard you try to be
Yes.
on time, it might be that the bus might be late, that your car might get damaged on the way to your job. It might be that you might fall down and then you might break your leg. I don't know. Something might happen but you will be late no matter what. That's a good example. Good. And this is another example. According to this law, there's always two options, right? Something good might happen or something bad might happen. But according to Murphy, always the bad will happen. I think this I don't know. That's my point of view. I think it's quite pessimist, right? Thinking like this. What do you think? If you know there's always there's the chance, right? There's a chance of something good or bad happening to you. But will you always think that it will definitely be something bad that can actually happen? What do you think? Do you agree with this Murphy's law? Because I don't agree. I mean, that's my
I think if you are doing the things well, if you are going in the right way, it is not necessary that bad things happen.
right? There's always a chance that you might get sick, right? I think nobody wants to be sick, right? I don't want to be sick. I want to feel fine, right? But it might happen, right? There's some things, there might be situations that get out of your control. What do you think, Paula? Is it always true? I mean, it should always be like this or not? How can we avoid this to happen?
I think that you attract what you put on the world. So if you're thinking positive, you're gonna attract positive things. And if you are always complaining and being mean and doing everything with a bad attitude, that's what is going to come back to you.
It will, right? Yeah. So I think you explain it better than me. I think it's about the attitude, as you mentioned, right? If you're thinking that things might always be bad, they might be, right? Camila, what do you think?
Like it says in the PowerPoint that some things are beyond our control. So I think what this law says is that there is a possibility that things go wrong and you have to accept this. Like you're not always in control.
Yeah, it might be out of your control. And it might be positive on the way that if you think that there's something bad that could happen, I believe, my opinion, I don't know what you think about your opinions, but I think if you know that there might be something bad that could happen, there's always the chance that we can try to do something to avoid, right? For example, if I know the sky is like getting really dark, right? These last days have been really rainy, right? If I know that it might rain and I might get wet if I don't bring an umbrella with me when I get out of my house, there's a way of making sure that I might always need, I might need an umbrella every time I get out. Otherwise, I might get wet, right? So, what do you think? I mean, we can take some actions so we can avoid those bad situations from happening. What do you think? Am I right or not? Vero, Maria Los Angeles, Raisha, Ivan, Carlitos, Nancy, what do you think? So these are the good news. Murphy is not always right. That was my concern. Why does it have to be like always thinking about something bad that could happen to you? He's not always right because there isn't that another example of Murphy's law. Let's see. What would be the other chance? Okay, and that was it. I thought they were gonna give another explanation, but I think it's something that is not 100% true, right? So that's I wanted to show you the video because I didn't know if you might have heard of this before or not. I did not. So this is going to be like the main topic for this unit. And this, I think, it's unit 8. But we already finished 8A, right? So this is going to be 8B, I believe. So let me go to Moodle because it's not visible to you now. Let me make it visible so you can see all the practices. So we finished 7A, 7B, and 7C, and 8A, right? Hasta ahí estamos. That's what I think. And this is going to be 8B. Okay, I'll show you now. Let's go to Moodle. Let me see. This is 8B. If something can go wrong, what could happen? Will it be wrong all the time, or there's always a chance of something not always like 100% of the time being bad? So these are all the activities for you to, this is where we're gonna be working on today. This is 8B, okay? And this is where you will find my slides. Let me see, it's all the way at the bottom. Let's keep going, and here. Okay, it's not visible, but I will make it visible. Just give me one moment. If you press F5, I think you'll be able to see all of this now. Let me see. Okay, can you press F5? Okay, let me see. Let me press it myself so I can show you that it's already accessible. Okay, it's visible now. Let me see. This is what we did already. And this is where we are. In here, AB. Okay, and the slides will be all the way at the end of 8B. In here. This is where they are now. Class activities, week number 3. Okay, but anyway, I already shared the link through the chat. Okay, so let's go and let's do the first one. Okay, let me go to my slides again. Okay. Okay. So according to this Murphy's law, can someone help me reading? Nancy, can you read, please?
Murphy's law. Nothing is as easy as it looks. Everything takes longer than you expect. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. And at the worst possible moment.
Okay, so according to Murphy, nothing is as easy as it looks, right? And according to Mr. Murphy, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Si algo malo le tiene que pasar, le va a pasar, okay? No matter what. We call it fate. Sometimes in Spanish, we call it el destino, right? If it's meant to happen, it will happen. But there's always a chance that something good might happen, right? So we shouldn't be thinking like negative all the time, okay? But this is what Murphy's Law is about. So this is what might happen, and this is a little reading. The title, it says, it always happens. So it might be related to Murphy's Law, and these are different situations, different contexts, different issues that might happen to people in different situations in life, okay? ¿Quién me ayuda? ¿Quién me ayuda? Who wants to go for the first reading? Anadalai, can you start? It always happens. It's in here, look. Let me see, in here.
It always happens.
If
you are in a checking quick and you change to another queen, which is moving.
Oh, another layer. Sorry. Okay, let me just explain what this means, because it might be a new word for you. Do you know what is queue? When you are doing a queue is when you are stepping behind someone else. If you want to buy something, if you want to pay for something, let's pretend we are in a store, in a shopping, I mean, in a clothing store, and there's always a line. So the queue is like the line you have to do. So it might be Gabriela, Paula, Mateo, Eric, and then I'm behind Mateo. So I'm behind them in the line, in the queue. So the queue is like the line we have to do in order to pay, in order to access to a place. So if you are at the airport and you have to do the check-in, there's always a line, right? There's a queue that you have to wait for other people to go through until it's your turn. So that is the queue. Okay, I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
Okay. If you are in checking queue and you change to another queue which is moving more quickly, what will happen? The queue you were in before will start moving faster. What would happen if you take your umbrella because you think going to rain later? Rain too later. It won't rain, of course. It will only rain if you forget to take your umbrella. These are examples of Murphy's Law, which says if there is sometimes that can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Okay, thank you, Nadalai. So according to this law, there's two different examples. So you might be doing a line, and it happens when we are at the supermarket, right? There's different lines at the supermarket, and we usually choose the one that is shorter, right? The short line. And then we step on the line, and all of a sudden, the line next to you is moving faster than yours. So you're like, okay, and you have to wait anyway, right? And what about the second example? What is it about? Anyone? Gabi, Diana, Mateo? According to Murphy, what will happen if you think it's not gonna rain, I shouldn't take the umbrella, I don't need the umbrella. But according to Murphy, it will rain. So it will happen just the opposite. So if you forget something, you might get caught. If you think that it might not rain, it will rain. If you think that it won't rain, it will rain. So according to Mr. Murphy, if things could go wrong, they will go wrong. So these are different examples. If we keep reading, there is an explanation where does this law come from and why is it called Murphy? Mateito, can you keep reading?
Murphy Laws took his name from Captain Edward Murphy, an American aerospace engineer from the 940.
Or we could say 1940s too.
1940. Okay. He was trying to improve safety for pilots flying military planes. Not surprisingly, he got a reputation for always thinking of the worst thing that could happen in every situation.
Okay, and here are more
There's
examples,
some more.
right? So here are more examples, right? Thank you, Mateo. So according to Mr. Edward Murphy, he was an American aerospace engineer from the 1940s, so that was a long time ago, and he was trying to improve safety for pilots flying military planes. Not surprisingly, he got a reputation for always thinking of the worst thing that could happen in every situation. Why does Mr. Murphy think that wrong things might happen to people? Why did it have this this belief that bad things could happen to people? Now we can understand. I didn't understand before, but now it might be easy to understand. So what do you think? Why did Mr. Murphy was so pessimist about things that can run, that could happen to people? What do you think, Carlitos? Because it looks like there is an explanation for him to think like this, and that's why this law was named after him, right?
Because he was trying to improve safety.
And when you're thinking about safety, you always think of accidents. I mean, of different situations that might hurt people, that might cause an accident, that might turn bad. So you can try to think of a way of avoiding those accidents from happening. So he was an expert in aerospace engineering. So he was always thinking of safety because that was his job, right? That was his main expertise, was to try to keep people safe, right? So that's why this law is named after him. So we have different situations. These are different things that might happen to people when, and these are the different contexts. It might be related to air traveling, shopping, driving, or social life. So what kind of wrong things might happen to you? Let's read it. There's like different situations, different things that might happen. Eric, would you like to read? This is letter C. It says, now look at the 8 examples of Murphy's Law in the article and match them with the sentences A to H. Can you read them first?
Letter A, Miss. Okay, your flight will be delayed.
What does it mean, delayed? This word.
I don't know. Delayed.
Okay.
Retrasado, como tarde.
So what if you have to fly, you have to take a plane, and all of a sudden you go to the airport and they tell you, oh no, there's a delay. Your flight is not going to be leaving at 9 p.m. It might be leaving at 11 p.m. And then you're like, so I have to wait 2 more hours yet because the flight has been delayed. Why could flights be delayed? What do you think? What could be the reason? And you're like, okay, you have to wait. What could be the reasons flights might be delayed? Camila, Anadalai, Dianita, no? Anna, Kevin. Oh, hi, Kevin. I can see you now.
For the weather.
Because of weather conditions, right? It might be raining, there might be a thunderstorm. So it might be really unsafe for them to fly, right? So that's why they might delay the flight. Any other reasons? Kevin, Paula, Anita, no, Summers?
It's always about the budgets, backpacks.
Uh-huh.
Because he was. Tienen que pesar todas las maletas.
It might be because they have too much weight on the plane, and they might have to remove, or they might have to just take some of the weight out of the plane, because it might be dangerous too. If the plane is like it's too heavy, it might be dangerous to fly, right? We're thinking about people's lives. I think the risk is very high. So sometimes they have to delay because of weather conditions, engine problems, weight. So there might be different circumstances that your flight might be delayed. So that's letter A. Camila, can you read letter B?
You will spill wine or coffee on it.
Okay, what does it mean to spill? I am drinking water, right? And I am looking at the screen, but I am drinking water. But then I might spill the water on my t-shirt, right? Because I'm not looking at the water container, I'm looking at the screen. So my water might be spilled on my t-shirt, right? So it might be water, it might be coffee. I might have coffee or wine, and accidentally I might spill it on my clothing. That's to spill. Thank you, Camilita. Eric. Oh no, I think you did it already, right? Diego, can you read letter C? Diego? Nancy, can you go ahead?
You will find a parking space right in front of it.
Okay, so you might try to park your car, and usually you always try to find the proper space, right? If the car is too long, it might not be, and you keep looking and looking for the proper place and the proper space to leave your car, right? So that could be another situation. Maria de Los Angeles. D.
All the traffic lights will be red.
What will happen if all the traffic lights are red? And you're late and you need to go as fast as possible. But if the traffic lights are red, you get stuck, right? You cannot go through because according to the traffic law, you cannot pass through a red light, right? So you have to stop. Letter E, Vero.
We'll have a problem with their credit card.
Okay, you might have issues with your credit card. Maybe you're about to pay, and then you take your credit card and they tell you, oh no, it doesn't go through. I think there's a problem with your card. And then you're like, no, but I have money. But there might be issues with the bank, maybe with a payment, but you cannot use your card. So things like that might happen. Ronald, letter F.
If they will already have a partner.
Okay. They will already have a partner. So they are with somebody else. Okay. That's another situation. Gabby, can you read letter G?
There will be an imperative 5 years old in the seat behind you.
Okay. Hyperactive is like a kid, like it's like moving all the time and moving. And he cannot stop moving. And he's really like jumping and everywhere. That's really being hyperactive. Let me see. Paula, letter H. Oh, I'm sorry.
It will work when the shop assistant tries it.
Okay, so these are the different situations, right? These are different situations. And so now we will have to think of when these situations might happen. What do you think? Let's think of air traveling. If you get to the airport early, according to Murphy, what could happen?
Your flight will be delayed.
So you need to be early, and you are early. If you have if the flight was supposed to leave at 8 p.m., usually if there's an international flight, you have to be 3 hours before, right? So by 5 p.m., you are already at the airport, 5 sharp. But then you get to the airport and they said, oh no, the flight is going to be delayed. It's not going to be leaving at 8, it's going to be leaving at 12. But you are already there at 5 p.m. So you have to wait not 3 hours, but 7 hours. So that could be really bad. So in here, it could be 8, right? Uy, I'm sorry for my writing. Looks like a 5-year-old. What if you want to sleep on the plane? What could happen according to Murphy?
There will be a hyperactive 5 years old to sit behind you, in the seat behind you, sorry.
And what will happen to
Letter
letter G, right? And what will happen if you have a 5-year-old hyperactive kid behind you? How your flight might be?
It will be horrible, terrible, because children likes to kick the seats.
They don't understand, right? They do not understand that they have to be sitting like for 8 hours without making noises, without crying, because for kids, right? But for adults, it might be not a pleasant flight. Okay, thank you, Anita. Mateo, what do you think shopping? If you're in a hurry and the person in front of you, according to Murphy, what might happen? You have to pay, but you are in a hurry. I have to go, I have to go. Can you please quickly, I need to pay. What could happen?
Letter E. We'll have a problem with the credit card.
Then the person just in front of you starts having issues with the card and you cannot pay and you have to wait till they fix the problem. They call the bank or they find another way of paying. But what if they don't have money? It could happen. What if you take something that doesn't work back to the shop? It doesn't work at home. You try it. It's not turning off. It's not doing anything. But then you take it back. And then, according to Murphy, what will happen? Carlitos, what do you think?
Number 4.
Let me see. Number 4.
Okay. It will work when the shop assistant tries
it. Why? Why will this happen? It doesn't work at home, but then when you take it to the shop, suddenly it works. Is there an explanation for this? What do you think? I don't know if it has happened to you, but sometimes we might have.
Yes, it happens.
Sometimes I have problems
Yeah,
with
I
my
think
computer.
Anita.
Anita.
Sometimes when things doesn't work at home are because some shop assistant are very
they're experts, right?
Very bad person, yes, that they change the issues, they change the things when they
and then
when they give it to
you, suddenly it works, right? Because they know how to fix it. It might happen. I don't know if it has happened to you, but sometimes when you're at work and you have problems with a computer program or something that, oh, it's not working, I have no internet access. And then you call the IT experts, can you please come? I cannot work. I mean, it's not working. And they come and then they're like, but you have to press here. And, you know, they fix it right at the moment, but you don't know how to fix it. But well, it happened. Okay, what about driving? If you're late for something important, Gabby, what might happen according to
letter D?
Why? Why could be letter D?
Because maybe you have traffic and you're gonna be late.
Maybe there's a lot of traffic and you cannot control how fast or how slow traffic might be outside, right? So it might happen. What if you park a long way from a restaurant? Why? When you come to the restaurant, you're trying to find a space close to the place, right? But what could happen? If you park a long way from a restaurant. When you go out of the restaurant, when you step outside, then you realize that there was a parking space right in front of, but you did not see it. You thought that there was not space close to the place. So you park far from the place, but then you realize that there was actually a spot, but you missed the spot. Pasa, it happens. What about social life? If you're single and you meet somebody at a party who you really like. According to Murphy. Ronaldito, why?
They will already have a partner.
Why? Has it ever happened to you? And mine.
It's life fit.
Then you are at a meeting, right? At a party, maybe you are, you're not looking to meet for meeting someone, but then you really like someone, and then you realize that they already have someone else. They already have a partner, so they are taken. So too bad. It might happen. What if you wear a white shirt or dress? You might spill wine or coffee. Has it ever happened to you? Have you ever spilled coffee on your clothing or wine?
Example de first communion.
Oh, yeah, the first communion. Yeah, because you have to wear white, right? For the baptism, for the first communion, for the wedding. Wedding dresses are white, right? What if you were wearing a white dress and then you are at a wedding party and then they spill wine at the wedding dress? That would be awful. Poor bride, imagine. So now let's go to Moodle. Now I think we're 100% ready to move to Moodle. Okay, let me see. And that is actually the first practice in here. Let me see, let me quit the X edition mode. And this is where we are, right? 8B. And that is actually the first practice. And this is the reading. And this is practice 1C. Okay. There's 2 attempts already. Good. Look at the 8 examples of Murphy's Law in the article and match them with sentences A to H. So now we can do it, right? Now go ahead, read every statement again, and then these are the different situations, it might be when you are about to take a plane, when you are at a store, or when you are driving, when you are at a social event or a party, what things could go wrong. Okay, now you try it. Okay, good. Everyone is trying it now. And this is, again, I don't know if I mentioned, this is 1C. And this is unit 8B. Title, if something can go wrong, it will go wrong, according to Murphy. Okay. See, I should have everyone in here. Camila, done. Paula, good. Ivan, Summers. Pretty easy, right? Was it difficult? Some of the words were new. To spill. To spill, it might be like to throw liquid on yourself. It might be wine, juice, soda, champagne. I don't know. It might be any. I mean, sometimes you're drinking something and then you might spill it on yourself. And to be delayed, it means that the flight is late. That was another new word. Okay. Okay, let's keep going do the next one. Let me see if I have the next practice in here. And model. Okay. Let me see. That was just the first one. Okay. Okay, let me go back to the slides. Let me show you something. Okay. So according to Murphy, if something bad will happen, it might happen, right? If you get to the airport early, your flight might be delayed. If you want to sleep on the plane, there might be a very hyperactive kid that will not let you rest for the rest of the flight. So we are looking at different examples of actually, this is called the first conditional. If it means si algo, right? That would be like si in Spanish. If you study very hard in level 4A, what will happen? And we're thinking very positive. If you finish all the practice, if you do all the projects, if you finish Alticia, what will happen to you? Maria Los Angeles, what do you think?
Pass it.
You'll pass the course because I'm really positive, and this is how you should feel, right? You should feel positive too, right? So if you miss the last bus, what can you do? You can get a taxi. If I miss the bus, I'll get a taxi. If you tell her the truth, she won't believe it. So these are different examples of the first, this is called first conditional. As we learn more about the English language, there might be other conditionals, but this is the first one. This is the easiest one. If you don't go, she won't be happy, right? She won't be happy if you don't go. So we might, the first sentence might be positive, and the second one, the consequence might be negative, or the first one, the first statement might be negative, and the consequence might be positive. So we might have a mix of two different situations. If you miss the bus, just get a taxi. If you miss the last bus, you can get a taxi, but there's always, it might be future forms or present forms, but according to this first conditional structure, this is how we use these different statements. So we use if plus present to talk about a possible situation, or we can use if plus future to talk about the consequence. If you don't study, you won't pass the course. If you don't finish Alticia, you won't get 2 points over Alticia practice. So this is like the statement and the consequence. If it's a possible situation, it might be present. If we're talking about a consequence, we might be ready to use future forms. The if clause can come first or second. Okay. If the if clause comes first, we usually put a comma before the next clause. Se separan las dos cláusulas siempre por una coma. So if you do well on the course, comma, you will move to level number 5. Okay, that will be the consequence. You can also use the imperative or can plus infinitive instead of will plus infinitive in the other course, in the other clause. If I miss the last bus, I'll get a taxi. So these are like statements, might be positive, might be negative, but this is just a theory. Now we are going to practice. This is one of the practices. Let me show you. There might be someone who wants to help instead of me. If you want to share the screen, go ahead. This is the link. Is there anybody who wants to help? No? ¿Quién me ayuda? No? Gaby, Fernando, Diego, Ana, Nancy, Vero. Would you like to share your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Ivan, thank you. Okay, let's do the first practice.
Miss, ¿cómo? Ah, okay. Ya.
Yes, you have to pick, and then you have to wait till it, oh. You can try again.
¿Sí se ve?
Let me see. No, not yet. Okay, there you go. Now you got it. Okay. You can make it bigger. Hay unas flechitas ahí que están como así. So you can make it like the whole screen. There you are. Okay, there you go. So let's try it. Crystal, what about the first one? If it rains, I
won't.
I won't.
I won't go
right?
to the beach.
Because if it rains, it doesn't make sense, right? Going to the beach. What about the next one? If Melina answer my phone this time,
If Marlena isn't
Do
at
is
my phone
do is
because
want.
is won't, I won't call her again.
if Merlina, okay, let's go.
Letter E.
If Merlina doesn't, can you go back, Ivan? So we can see why it was wrong. Okay, if Melissa doesn't answer my phone, this is present, right? But this is a negative clause. If she doesn't answer this time, I won't call her again because she's not answering my phone call. So I'm not gonna call her again. I won't call her again. So this will be present, future. Okay, good. If I enough money, I buy the concert tickets. What do you think? And these are different options.
If I will.
Have you
If I have enough money, I will buy the concert tickets. If I don't have money, I cannot, right? But if I have money, I will buy them for sure. Good. If I will stay in bed, it's not bad. I will stay in bed if I will tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't feel.
I will stay in bed if I
feel.
Yeah, if I don't feel. If I don't feel well, I will definitely stay in bed. No siempre las dos pueden ser positivas. Puede ser que una sea positiva y la otra sea negativa. It might be, it might happen. If you eat too much junk food, what could be the consequence? You, father.
Will become.
Will be.
Letter C.
It's not just will be.
Will be.
Will become.
Father. Father
Will
means that will become. Become, ¿qué significa? Como que se va a engordar. Va a engordarse. You will become father. A little by little, right? But it will happen. She happy if you give her some flowers.
Will be give.
Give is already given. Ahí se equivocaron. A give is already there. But what could be the first one? She won't be happy? I don't think so. She be happy? She's going to be happy? No, not really according to the structure. It's not going to. We don't use going to in first conditional. She
Will
Will be. Letter D.
happy. It will be letter D. She will be happy if you give her some flowers. And look at her, she's already happy. No, she will be. She will be happy if you give her some flowers. What about this situation? I will wash the dishes. We reach an agreement. So you do the dinner and I
wash the dishes.
If you cook dinner, I'll wash.
Letter A, cook.
A. Good. So you cook and I wash. And we have a deal. Good. One more. If we, in groups, we will finish it quicker.
If we work, letter D.
Letter D. If we work in groups.
Teacher, sorry, I can.
Yes.
Teacher.
Anita.
I can open the camera. I have my connection on internet is very
okay.
It's low. If I turn on the camera, then the audio
will not
is
work.
Very, very slow. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Anne. So if we work in groups, we will finish this quickly, right? Okay. Letter D. And that's it. That was the first practice. Just one that we're going to keep practicing. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you so much for helping me. Okay, let me see. There's something else. And let me show you now. Okay, so now there's another practice. Let me show you that now. So according to the theory, according to the language forms and the language rules, this is how we are going to be using the first conditional if plus simple present, will plus infinitive. If it rains, I won't go to the beach. If I study today, I'll go to the party, right? That will be the consequence. If I study hard, I'll go to the party. If it rains, I won't go to the beach, to the park. Okay, because if it rains, it doesn't make sense, right? If I have enough money, I'll buy new shoes. If I have enough money, I'll buy tickets. If I have enough money, I'll buy new clothing. So that it will be the consequence. She'll be late if the train is late. She'll be late if her car is not working and she cannot drive. She'll miss the bus if she doesn't leave. If I see her, I'll tell her. So these are the different options. And there's another practice. There's one more. Okay, let me see. Let me share my screen now. Okay. Okay. So what about these situations? These are the different options. And this is the statement. If I out tonight, I out to eat. What do you think? What could be the two different options? If I
go out, go.
Okay, let's try. If I go out tonight,
I will go out to eat.
I'll go out to eat. So we send the answers. Fine. Present, future. That's it. If you home late, your mother angry. So
if you come.
Present. If you come home late,
will be.
Your mother will be.
Will be.
Ajá. Porque el primero, según la regla, el primero es presente y la consecuencia va a estar en futuro. So if you come home late, your mom will be really angry. Eso es lo que le dice el hermano. Tu mamá va a estar bravísima. She will be really angry. So it makes sense, right? Okay. Next one. If it's a picnic.
If it rains.
If it rains, we
won't have
a picnic. Recuerda que puede ser, la consecuencia puede ser positiva, could be negative, it could be opposites, puede ser que primero tengamos la consecuencia y luego el por qué pasó eso, but it's always present, future. If it rains, we won't have a picnic, right? Because of the rain. Okay, next. A taxi if it's Another lie. Mateo. No.
I
Yes.
will take a taxi.
Uh-huh. I will take a taxi if it
Rains.
rains. Uh-huh. Because I don't want to get wet, so I will definitely take a taxi if it rains, right? Okay. What about this one? Early if I my work. What could be the consequence? If you
Come.
Carlitos, what do you
Will
think?
come.
Mhm. Is there any other option? Mateo, Diana, Carlos, Raisha?
I will finish early. No.
Let's try. Let's try. Kevin, what do you think? Nancy, Anthony. Oh, hi, Anthony. Welcome back.
I will come.
I will come.
If I finish my
I will
work.
come.
Okay,
I will come.
I will come early if I finish my work. Okay, let's see. Good, good. So, puede ser que sea primero future and present, present and future. If you, all that, you sick.
If you eat,
Or you will be.
all that, you will be sick.
If you eat too much, if you eat all that, you will definitely be sick. Le va a doler la barriga. If you go to bed now, you tired tomorrow. What is the consequence?
Don't go.
Don't go.
Don't go to bed tonight.
Will be.
You will be tired tomorrow.
Why? If you don't go to bed now, that's what mother says to kids, right? If you don't get to bed now, then you will be tired tomorrow because you have to wake up really early in the morning and you did not have enough sleeping time, right? So if you don't go to bed now, you will be tired tomorrow. The consequence will be that you will feel tired. You will be tired. Good. Okay, Nancy, try this one. If you tomorrow, it could be.
Don't see.
You tomorrow.
If
I will see
I will
you on Sunday.
Okay, could be. But we don't really have to translate it, but sometimes it might make sense. If I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you on Sunday. I could have said this yesterday to you, for example. If I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you on Sunday because we will have classes on Sunday. So if you cannot be present on Saturday, I will see you on Sunday, right? It makes sense. A new car.
He will buy a new
car.
He
Will get
a bonus.
Goodbye.
He, so we have these different options. He buy a new car. He gets a new car. He is buying a new car. He have buy.
He will buy a new car if he gets a bonus.
Okay. Future, present, or it could be present, future. But what could be the possibility? He will buy a new car if he gets a bonus. That might be the chance. It might happen. Okay. What about this one? He to the party if you, Monica, what do you think?
He will go to the party to invite him.
Of course. He will go to the party if you do not invite him, he won't go to the party, but he will go if you definitely invite him. He will go. Good. Excellent. That was it. Now, this has been like practice number 2, but there's something else I want you to do for me now. Let me see if I have that in my slides. Yes, okay. Let's try this now. I'll show you my slides. So we already went through the rules, right? But I want you to write something from your own ideas. It doesn't have to be the ones we already did. But now if we could think of a sentence, I want you to practice it. Write a sentence using the first conditional forms, if plus present and the consequence or the possibility using future forms. It could be positive, it could be negative, but I want you to try your own, okay? And please do not forget to add your names when you write your sentences, okay? I add 1 and 2 and 3 slides. So if there's not enough space on the first one, you will have the chance to write on slide number 2. And I'm using first conditional. So if there is not enough space in here, you can go to the next slide, okay? Thank you. Okay, so let me see. Let's see. Camila, can you read your own? Okay, let's check.
If you go to all the soccer practices, you will get better.
Okay, good. Good. Let me see. I'm trying to fix the space. Okay, because if I don't fix it, it will not be clear for you. Okay. Anita, can you read your sentence?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
I'm here. Yes. If you don't eat the vegetables, you will be always sick.
Okay, because you will be sick of your stomach. Might happen.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Crystal, go ahead.
If it's
Uh-huh.
tomorrow, I won't be able to go for a walk.
These last days, it's been very rainy, right, in the city. So if it rains tomorrow, we won't be able to go out, right? I mean, usually we go out just if it's something that we really need to be out. Otherwise, if it's rainy, we won't be able to go for a walk or maybe to go to the park. We won't go outside because it's rainy. Yeah. Vero, go ahead. Can you read your sentence, Vero? Okay, good. Obviously, yeah, that's completely true. I agree. We have to study. Opportunities will always come, but if we are not ready, it will be really hard. Okay, Raisha, can you read yours? Oh no, Melanie, I'm sorry, Melanie. Can you read your sentence, please?
Ando un poco enferma de la garganta, pero
Oh,
lo puedo intentar.
Crystal. Yeah, just your sentence. I won't ask you to force you too much.
It is past this example, is won't have to do it again.
Okay, good. If you pass this level, you won't have to do it again, right? But sadly, if you do not pass the level, then you have to repeat the level. So we are going to work hard and we're going to think positive. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you get better. Raisha, can you read yours?
If you don't study, you will fail your exam or exams. Maybe if you have a lot.
Yeah, and it's something that it could happen, but we're thinking positive again, and it won't happen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raisha. Gabby.
Yes. Okay. If you are responsible, you will be a good worker.
Good, good, very good, Gabby. Nancy.
If you sleep late, it will be difficult for you to wake up early.
It happens, yeah, if you sleep late, if you go to sleep. I think we can add this. If you go to sleep late, it will be difficult for you to wake up early. Excellent, Nancy. Thank you. You're welcome. Crystal, go ahead.
If you study hard, you will pass the exam.
We are 100% sure that will happen. If you study hard, you will pass the exam. Thank you, Crystal. Mateo.
If you don't study, you won't pass the exam.
That could be another possibility. But thinking positive again. Another lie. Thank you, Mateo.
If you add more sugar to the coffee, it will taste well.
Good. Good, another lie. Thank you. Carlitos?
If I study every day, I will pass the exam.
Excellent. Fabiana?
If you are late for work, they will fire you.
Yeah, according to the law, if you keep being late, it might be a reason for you to be out of your job. Good. Thank you, Fabiana. Ivan, can you read yours?
If you don't eat healthy, you will get overweight.
Good. Thank you, Ivan. Summers?
If I don't check in on time, I can visit Ecuador next Monday.
Oh, really? You're coming. That's nice. But I think there's something that we have to check in here. Remember that if it's present, so if I don't check in on time, there's something we can add in here, but it will definitely has to be the future, future form. If I don't check in on time, how can we fix this? What do you think? Is there anyone? Anybody? Can help Summers? What is it something that we need to correct in there? If I don't check in on time, I won't be able, right? I won't be able to visit Ecuador because if I'm late, I won't be able to fly, or I won't be able to visit Ecuador or to fly to Ecuador. But it's always like present. It might be positive or negative, but there's a consequence in future. Okay, this will be the consequence. If you don't do it on time, you won't be able to go, right? Okay, good. And I'm glad you're coming. Let me see, Dieguito, if you don't, can you please read it?
Yes. If you don't take out the chicken from the fridge, your mom will be mad.
Okay, Diego, thank you. Monica?
If you don't eat healthy, you won't lose weight.
Good. Thank you so much. Gabby?
If I pass this exam, I will celebrate with my family.
We all celebrate. We are a family already, so we all be happy. Okay, good. Good, Gabby. Let me see. I have some more in here. Maria Los Angeles.
If I take a medicine, I won't be sick.
Good, good. Thank you. Ronald? Can you read yours?
I is work. I will pay mis debts. An example, servicio básico.
Okay, but if I work, and in here I'm missing the subject. If I work, I will pay my debts. Okay, good.
Mismo sería, en vez de debts, sería bills.
Yeah, I was about to say, we can say debts, or I will pay my debts. It means that you can pay your bills. Bills, it's like all the different amounts that you have to pay, all the different bills is like the invoices or las facturas or todos los pagos que tengo que hacer. So these are bills. So bills could be utilities. Utilities are like electric service, water, internet. So if I work, I will have money and I will be able to pay my bills. Good. Thank you, Ronald. And thank you, I think it was Summers, right? Good, for helping. Paulita.
If you help me with this chore, we will finish sooner.
Another word for core. It's like, so this might be a new word. If you help me, like a
task.
A task, right? If you help me with this task or core, we will finish sooner. Okay, good. Fernando. Fernandito.
Yes.
Can you read your sentence?
Are you finish your homework? Say, if you finish your homework, you will have time to play soccer.
Good, good, Fernando. Good. Kevin, can you read yours?
If you don't do the homework, you will have a bad grade.
Okay, good. And we don't want that to happen, so we're gonna do all the assignments. Good. Dianita. Diana.
No se me abrió el micrófono.
Okay.
I don't organize my activities. I won't be able to finish the more in due time.
Okay, if I don't organize my activities, or if I don't organize my time, it could be instead of activities. If I don't organize my time, I won't be able to finish the activities. It's just a suggestion, so we can make it it might be easy to understand. If I don't organize my time, I won't be able to finish the activities in time or in due time, like on time, right? Good. Good, Anita. And last one, Anthony, last but not least. Anthony, what could be a consequence of drinking expired?
If I drink expired milk, I will have diarrhea.
It might happen, right? It might happen, of course. Sometimes sometimes we don't read the label, right? And it might be expired. And if it is expired, that could be a consequence. Good. Thank you. So I think it's pretty clear, right? I wanted to make sure that it's clear so we can move, right? Now this is actually a quiz, but now I think it will be easier to do, right? What could be, these are different situations, and we have to match them with the right statement. So one is already done. If you leave now, you'll catch the 8 a.m. train. Okay, that has been matched already. But what about the first one? The ticket will be cheaper. And these are the different options. If you don't have enough lessons, will you give it back to me? If you travel at 9, if you come to every class, will you earn more money? I'll call you this evening. And these are the different statements we have to match.
If you travel after 9.
The ticket will be cheaper if you travel after 9. Could be, yeah.
After 9.
Yeah, because you could find a cheaper price for the ticket, right? Sometimes it happens when you are looking for a cheap ticket after certain times, and you might find a cheaper price, right? Okay, good. What about number 2? If I don't see you this afternoon, Anthony, what do you think? If I don't see you,
I will call you this evening.
Okay, Kevin, let me see. If I don't see you this afternoon, I will.
Jim.
I'll call you this evening. It makes sense. Yeah. Okay, that might be a possibility. Good. Number 3, you learn more quickly if this is easy.
If you come to every class.
Yeah, because if you are here in classes, you might be able to practice, and you will understand faster, right? So you learn more quickly if you come to every class. Good. What about number 4? If you get that new job.
F, will you earn more money?
So it could be like the opposite, right? Will you earn more money? If you get that new job, you will earn more money. Yeah, that might be the consequence, right? If you have a job, you can get money. Good. What about number 5? You won't pass your driving test if
If you don't have enough lesson.
So if you practice enough, right? You won't pass, right? You won't pass your driving test if you don't have enough lessons, enough practice lessons, because it might be difficult, right? It makes sense. Okay, that might be the consequence. What about number 6? If I lend you this book, when you're lending something to someone, you expect that person to give it back, right? So it's like when you're lending money.
Will you give it back to me soon?
So if I lend you this book, which is very important to me, will you give it back to me soon? Because I need it soon, right? It might be a week, but no more than that. Good. So that was 8B. Let me see. Can you help me adding the letters? Oh, good. You did it already. You're awesome. So I think we're only missing number 5, right? 5. You won't pass your driving test, and that was A, right? The letter A. Let me see. Letter A. Let me see. If you want me, I can. No, okay, you're doing it. Thank you. Okay, now let's go to the next one. There's one more practice. In here, they ask you to complete the, let me see, complete the correct form of the verbs. So in here, it's about the structure, present, future. If we start walking, the bus will come. Okay, but what about the first one? If your secrets, anybody else. That's a promise.
If you tell me your secret, I won't tell anybody else.
That's what we always promise, right? And then we skip like, oh, ¿sí te enteraste? Oh, but then when we're told a secret, we promise not to tell anyone. But then, well, but that's the promise. If you tell me your secret, I won't tell anybody else. I'll keep it. Okay. So let's, you know what? Let's write it down because then we might forget. Tell. Okay, let me, oh no, this is too big. I need to make it smaller. Like this, right? I won't tell anybody. But in here, we have to pay attention to the apostrophes, I mean the contractions. Because in the platform, they will ask you to use the short form. So you will be asked to use contractions. So make sure that you're writing, I mean, you're typing the right contractions form because otherwise the platform won't accept it as a right answer, okay? But we'll check that in a moment in Moodle. Number 2, if I,
Right.
Sometimes you need to write it down. I need to write it down. Otherwise,
Don't write.
I
won't remember.
I won't remember. It happens, right? For some people, I need to write it down. If I don't write it down, I won't remember. I might forget, easily forget. Okay, so that will be number 2. Number 3. Monica, can you try number 3?
Will you you call my if you get any news?
Good. Will you call me if you get any news? So first, there's the auxiliary form, right? Because this is a question. Will you call me if you get any news? Good. Can you help me adding the words on the space? Because in here, I think we cannot see it like this. You open a text box and then you write it down. You might have to make it smaller porque se ve como un poco grande. But you can always go to the font size and then you can make it smaller. Will you call me? And here we have to write call, right? And then we can make it smaller. Okay. And then we have to move it so it will stay on the proper place. Okay, number 4. Let me see. That was number 3, right? Number 4. She, you, if you,
Help you if you
She helps.
ask
You
her.
will have.
Okay, Ronald, go ahead. She
help.
Okay.
You will have.
Okay, so why are you using future for the second one? Because this is kind of a possibility, right? She she will help you, right? If you, so if this is future, if the first one is future, the other one should be present, right? So how can we rephrase that again? She
will help.
Will help you, of course, yes, excellent. If
To-
you
You is you yes.
If you
Can have
ask her
ask.
nicely, right? So if you ask her nicely, could you please help me? Then of course she will help you. But if you ask people in a bad way, oh, I need you to ask me. I mean, and you have to help me. So you really need to help me. So so if it's not in a nice way, but if it's nicely, I mean, people will always be willing to ask, right? To help. Okay, let me see. She will help you if you ask her nicely. So in here, we need the second verb in just present time. Ask. Miss, could you please repeat? And of course I will repeat, right? Because I'm being asked in a nice way, right? Yo creo que eso le pasa a todos, right? This is for everyone. Thank you, Ronald. Let me see. 5. I don't know who was doing 5. Can you please read it?
I will, Miss.
Go ahead.
I will find you if I heard from Alex.
I will phone you if I from Alex, right? Okay. I will phone you if I hear from Alex. Okay, I will let you know. I'll call you if I hear from him. So if I know something about him, I will definitely call you. Good, good. What about number 6?
You will miss your friends if you move to Paris.
It might happen, right? That might be a consequence because if you're far away from people you love, you will miss them, right? Good. Number 7, Melanie. I don't know who did number 7. If you, or Fernando, where is Fernando? Fernando, Mateo, or Diana. If you, in class, if you listen carefully, can you read it?
Carefully, you will understand everything.
Everything. So we have to listen carefully. We have to pay attention so we can understand everything. Good. Thank you, Vero. Number 8, Mateo. Thank you.
The boss won't be very pleased if you are late for work.
So your boss won't be very pleased. He won't be happy if you are late, right? Because you have to be on time. So if you're not on time, your boss will not be happy with you. Good. Thank you, Mateo. Number 9. I don't know who did number 9. Can you please add your names? Because I don't see your names in here. Can you please? Please, please, please. Paula, can you read number 9?
I will drive you home if you give me directions.
Okay, good. So whoever was working on this, on the sentences, on completing the gaps or missing the missing gaps, can you please write your names? Okay. So now this is just the grammar section. So we have completed both practices. So I think it's now to move to Moodle. Okay, so we can try this as a quiz and here. Okay, let me see. We go back. This is 8B. This is where we are. And as usual, every section has a grammar practice, right? So, and this one is actually Grammar Bank 1A. That was the first practice. So I think we can try this now. Okay. And this is where we have to match the sentences halves, because this is like half the sentence and it needs you to match with the right one. So go ahead and try this now. Okay. Okay. Good. Almost everyone, but there's still Ángeles, Cecilia, Carlos, Verónica, good. Mónica, Cristel, Diego, Gabriela, and Ronald. Okay, so once we're done, we can go to the next one. And that will be grammar practice 1B. Let me see. Grammar bank 1B. So we're working on 1A and 1B. That's it. This is where we are now. So 1B, there's already 10 attempts, right? Good. Okay. Let me see. Who is it? Who has finished? Let me see. Whoever. Paula, good. Camila, but I still have Fernando, Diana, Kevin, Anna, Ivan, and Adalai, and Monica. So I'll give you 2 more minutes, okay? So we can all finish this grammar section. Okay, so now let's just make sure that everybody's done. Okay, so we managed to finish the grammar section, right? This is where we are now. Wait, sorry. I should be here. Okay, so let's try to move and to... This is some pronunciation practice. It's not really a quiz, but again, it's always useful to listen to this different, useful not to listen just from one person's pronunciation, which could be me, but to have like different input from different other people with different accents, with different voices. So this is a practice about sound linking. When we are saying words in another language, we usually put them together, right? In any language. So, but there's different sounds, and these are like different sentences. And this is the way how they link the words according to their pronunciation, their the different emphasis on the first syllable or the second syllable. So let's listen, okay?
4.3. 1.
If I see her, I'll tell her.
If I see her, I'll tell her. It sounds like fast, but if we read it, this is a way of connecting different words. If I see her, I'll tell her. So there's like the 2 different clauses, and this is actually first conditional too. That's the first one.
2. We'll go if it doesn't rain.
Okay, so if you want to just repeat, I know it might sound like it's not really helpful, but believe me, it is. If you listen, it's like when we are learning to speak Spanish when we're babies. We listen to other people, and then how can we mouth the words? Because we can listen, and then we listen and repeat. But if we don't listen, if we don't try to repeat, right?
3.
If I get there early, I'll order the food.
If I get there early, I'll order the food.
4. They'll arrive at 8 if their flight's on time.
Wait, I lost it again. I'm sorry. And here. Okay. I'm sorry, I think I was in number 4, right? Somehow around.
Early, I'll order the food.
Okay.
4. They'll arrive at 8 if their flight's on time.
They'll arrive at 8 if their flight's on time.
5.
If you aren't in a hurry, we can walk.
Okay. Now, we can leave this for after the recess, but let me just explain this very quickly. It's not a quiz again, but it is something that there's, let me see. You cannot see it. Let me go to 8B, and if you press F5, this is kind of a practice. Again, not a quiz, but I want you to try to do it, okay? It's called 3B. If you click on the link, you'll be taken to this activity. It wasn't posted by me. I think it was posted by another teacher months ago, but again, it's useful, right? So this is what you have to do. This is, as you can see, these are all the students who have already tried this practice. So I said, why not? We can do it, right? So this is the audio. So this is what they want you to listen and try to write 5 more sentences. This is what other students already did before. And this is what I want you to try to do for me too. So this is the audio. If you click in there, you can always access the audio anytime.
4.4.
This is the audio. Let me see.
4.4. 1.
If you don't eat something, you'll be hungry later.
That's one sentence.
2.
I'm sure she'll come if you ask her.
3.
You'll earn more money if you work at weekends.
4.
If the film's in French, we won't understand a word.
5.
If I cook lunch, will you cook dinner?
Okay, so these are the different sentences on the audio, but this is what they want you to do. They don't want you to listen and write the same sentence. They want you to listen and try to write 5 more sentences, not the same as the audio. But the audio will be helpful for you to understand that there's 2 different clauses, that there's a present and future, positive, negative. So these are some of the sentences written by other students, okay? If you don't eat, what might be the consequences? If you don't pay your debts on time, if you don't study, if you don't wake up early, so the situations might be different, but you can have the audio. Again, this is not a quiz. How can you add your sentences? You click on the plus sign, and then it says añadir publicación. So if you click in there, 5 or first conditional, we can write it like that with first conditional practice. 5 more sentences. And then you can add your name, okay? And then this is where you can write sentence number 1 and sentence number 2. Yes.
Sorry, I can open the link.
Really?
3B. I can open the link.
But let me see. Did you press F5? Lo volvió a cargar la página. I think it
Yes,
has to-
I update the page, and it says something about Padlet. Dice,
yeah, it's a Padlet.
solo miembros. Si solo miembros, access to this Padlet is restricted to
Tiene que
loading
registrarse primero.
only.
Yeah, that's what I was. Oh, thank
Como
you.
estudiante y después gratis.
Yeah.
Y ya volver a ingresar por el link.
So first you have to register. So the registration is free, right? I mean, but you need to create like a user, right? Right, Diego? So once you have your user, then you can publish, right? Thank you. Yeah, thanks for helping. So you know what? You can do that after the recess. We're gonna take a break now, okay? And then we will come back. We're gonna keep doing the we're gonna be working on 8. I mean, there's more practice on 8B for you to do. Okay, so let's have a break now. Gonna just leave this. Okay, so we're gonna keep. Okay, let me check your Padlet sentences. Let me see if you were able to write them down. Let me see. Okay. Where is Padlet? I know this is not actually a quiz, but it's a nice way of do a different practice, right? So let me see if you were able to write your sentences. Carlos, good. I have the one from Carlos, pero see. There's different students, not the ones from this course. There's like other people too. Hi, Crystal and Emily, Virginia. Let me see. This is not you. Pablo. Yes. Hi, Camila. I'm sorry, but we were on a break and then I see that you are back now. Okay, Diego, Angeles. If you can do it, it would be nice. Again, this is not actually a quiz, but this is kind of just an extra practice. Let me see. So then there's something else. Let me see. Just give me one moment. Move this. But there is something that I think it is a quiz and it will be a quiz, but not in Moodle. So let me go back to my slides. Okay. Okay. So this is where we are now. Let's try this in here and then we can go back to Moodle, okay? So these are verbs that according to the book, they have called these verbs like confusing verbs, but it might be confusing because they might have a similar meaning, okay? So these are the different verbs. They might not be new for you, but I'll explain how different they are, okay? So these are different pictures. In each of the pictures, there's 2 pictures, right? It's like there's a square divided into 2 different pictures. One of them is related to one of the verbs and it shows you how different they might be. For example, you might win a medal, you might win a prize, or you can earn money. So win and earn is not really the same. It might seem that they have something in common. It might be similar, but they are not that similar. You win money or you win a prize. I mean, you can win a medal, you can win a prize, you can win a match, or you can earn a salary and you can earn money. If we talk about the verb wear, to wear, usually you wear clothing, usually you wear stickers, you wear jewelry, but you can carry a bag and you can carry a baby. So wear and carry is not the same. Win and earn is not the same. Know and meet. You might know someone, you might know something, and you might meet somebody, or you might meet at 8 o'clock. So the verb know and meet, not the same. Similar meaning, but not exactly the same. Hope and wait. You hope that something might happen. You hope that something good will happen. You hope to do something, or you might wait for a bus and you might wait for a long time. So hoping and waiting is not the same. Watch and look at and watch. You might watch TV, you might watch a match, you might watch a movie, and you might look at a picture, you might look at your watch, so it's not the same. Son parecidos, pero tienen diferentes significados. It's not really the same. You might look happy, you might look about 25 years old, and you might look like your mother, or you might look like a model. Okay, so the verb look and look like no es lo mismo. You look happy and you look like your mother. Look like es como parecerse a alguien, okay? But look, not really the same. Miss and lose. You might miss the bus, you might miss a class, but you might lose a match, or you might lose your glasses. You might lose your phone, you might lose your money, but you might miss the bus and you might miss a class. The verb bring and take. You might bring your dictionary, or you might take an umbrella. You might bring something back, or you might take someone to school. Look for and find. Similar, but not the same. You might look for your glasses, or you might find your glasses. You might look for a job, and you might find a job. So look for and find. Parecido, but different connotations, different, they might be used in different contexts and for different situations. To say and tell. You might say sorry, you might say hi, you might say something, or you might tell a joke, you might tell a lie, or you might tell somebody something. And the verb lend and borrow. Esto siempre trae mucha confusión. I usually lend money to someone. Lend es como prestar, ¿no es cierto? Lend something, lend money, generalmente prestar dinero. And borrow is to get money from. Entonces, lend, prestar, y borrow, pedir prestado. Pareciera que fuera lo mismo, pero no es lo mismo en inglés. Okay, so that's why they're called confusing verbs. Porque pueden causar confusión, porque puede ser que en español nosotros usamos los verbos en los mismos contextos, pero en inglés existen muchos verbos y depende del contexto, el verbo no se usa en diferentes situaciones, ¿ya? So that's what they call confusing verbs. So lend, give money to someone or lend something to someone, and borrow is to get money from someone. Ask for money, okay? So no es lo mismo. Okay, so now what are we going to do? We are going to try to match the pictures with the verbs, okay? So what about the first one? We have two pictures. And which of these verbs could be used for the first picture? Is it hope, watch, look, bring, look, win, or wear? Or it could be lend too.
Number 2.
Okay, let's see. Let me see. Number 2. Number 2 is wear, right? So on the first picture, someone is wearing jewelry, right? A ring, and they're like bracelets, right? So that's wear. And the second picture shows someone carrying or holding, like carrying, it's like a bag, right? It's a red bag. Okay. So, okay, could be number 2, could be wear and carry. Good. So, and here that is number 2. Good, Carlos. What about know and meet? What is a picture showing someone that knows someone or someone who's meeting someone? Que no es lo mismo. No, number 5. How can you tell it's number 5? How can you tell it's no and meet?
The first one is no, because it's together, and the second one is the meet because presentation and say the hands.
Like this, like right. So in the first picture, it might be they might be friends, right? They are like hugging each other like this, so they might know each other from a long time. But on the second picture, there's 2 different people, and it looks like they are being introduced for the first time. So actually, that will be meet or meeting someone for the first time. It might be, I think there might be in a company, it might be like in a job meeting, but they are actually meeting for the first time. But on the other picture, it looks like those 2 people, they know each other. So they are friends, or maybe they are relatives, could be. Right? Good. What about number 6? Let me see. What is the difference between the 2 pictures that can tell you that it's win and earn? Because someone already wrote the numbers. What is the difference? In which of the pictures we could use the verb win, and in which of the pictures we could use the verb earn? What do you think? Melanie, Cristel. Oh, Melanie, I'm sorry, I forgot.
In the first picture, he's with a medal, he win, and earn is the salary, the second picture.
Okay, so, I think, I don't know if I am right or not, but I think that it's not actually number 6, it's number 8, right?
Oh, yes, I was talking
Right?
about the picture number 8.
Oh, the picture. Okay, picture number 8, yes. So the first one, there's someone like winning a medal, right? And
second salary.
It's like a paycheck, right? Like the payroll, where you can see how much money you're getting every month. Good. So that will be win and earn, right? So in here we have to, okay, we have to correct. Okay, that's it. Good. What about 7? What about 7? Which words could those be?
Those are for lend and borrow.
How can
Yeah,
you tell?
I think that lend is like you decide to give to someone money, and borrow when someone asks you to give him or her money.
Oh, can you give me, can I borrow $5? Can I borrow $10? So I'm asking you for money. But if you're giving me money, it means that you're lending me money. Okay, so that's why they're different. It might be confusing, but it's not actually the same action, right? So one is to give money to someone and then borrow to ask for money to someone, right? Good. What about 11? 11. Where is it? 11. How can you tell it's look and look like? Let me see.
Because in the first picture there is only one girl, and in the other picture there are 2. I think they are trying to say that those 2 girls look like the same.
They might be sisters, right? And you might tell that they look alike because they are similar. They have similar noses and similar hair and similar face shape and
teacher,
eyes.
when we say look alike, is that they are not the same, right? Look alike.
Look alike, yeah, they're not the same. When you're trying to be very specific about the difference between 2 people, they don't look alike because they're different. But if you say that they look like, it means that they are very similar. They have very similar eye shapes and eye color and hair. So that's the difference. And just look in the first picture, it seems like the girl is happy. She looks happy, or she looks young. She looks 25 years old to me, but on the second picture, they look like each other. So they might be sisters. So yeah, so it's different. Let me see number 4. What is the difference between miss and lose? What is it, picture number 4? How can you tell it's miss and lose? What do you think?
You missed something
Uh-huh.
more. I think you can. I don't know how to explain.
I think on the first picture, they are missing the bus. It might be a train. I think they're running after the train. It means that they might have missed the bus, right, or the train. But on the second picture, there's like a football player, and he looks really concerned. I think he's even crying because they might have lose a match, right, or a game, or a football soccer game. So it's not the same. You're missing something, and in here you're losing something. You lose a game, but you might miss a bus. Se escriben diferente, tienen significados parecidos, pero no son lo mismo. That's like the whole idea. That's why they're called confusing. But now there might not be that confusing. That's the idea. We can identify why are they different. What about number 10? What could be number 10? Because it's not
The picture of there is a man with flowers. Maybe he's saying "I love you."
Maybe.
And in the other, the boy is telling to the girl a joke.
So it could be the two verbs could be say and tell, right? So he might try to say, I love you with flowers. Or in the second picture, he might be telling her a joke because she's laughing, right? Or he might be telling her a lie. But to tell is just when you are telling a joke, or when you are telling a lie, or when you are telling somebody something. Or you can use say to say I'm sorry, to say hello, or to say something to someone. So it's not really the same, but different situations. So in here, it could be say and tell. What about number 9? What are the verbs? Monica, Ronald, Raisha, Vero, Anadalai, Cristel, Fabian. What do you think? What's happening between the first lady and the older lady? What are they doing?
Like, bring your dictionary. She's back from holiday.
Okay.
Take an umbrella your children to school.
Cool. Okay, so the difference is that on the first one, the girl is bringing a dictionary, right? Or she might bringing something with her. And on the other picture, the old lady, she's taking an umbrella. So take an umbrella and bring something, not the same. But this is how different they could be, right? What about, let me see, we're missing one. Anthony, what's the difference on number 3? What could be the verbs that we might use?
Watch, because in the first picture, the man watch the TV, and in the second, watch a video in the cell phone or BlackBerry.
So it might be to watch. You watch TV, but you look at a photo, right? Good. So it's
yes.
Might be confusing, but not the same. You watch a movie, you watch TV, and you look at a photo, you look at your watch. Good, Anthony. There's one, number one. What about if we do number one? Gaby, or Angeles, or Diana? I don't know. What is the difference on the first picture?
I think the hope is that esperanza.
Like hoping, right?
I'm hoping. And wait is staying time, sparing, como waiting.
Waiting for something. You wait for the bus, you wait for a long time, but you're hoping that something might happen, right? It's not hoping and waiting. En English is not the same. En español decimos esperar, ¿no? Espero que pase un milagro y también espero por el bus. But in English it's not the same. We might use different verbs. That's why it might be confusing. So we hope for something good to happen, or we might wait for something. Okay, so it's somehow a little bit more clear, right? But this is just about practicing. In English, it's difficult because they use verbs for absolutely every single action. In Spanish, we might use the same verb for different situations, different actions. I mean, we use the same verb, but in English, they use a different verb for different actions. So there's like thousands and thousands of verbs. So that's why it might be challenging. Okay, so now let's go back to Moodle. Let me see. Wait. Where is it? Let's see. Okay. So in here, and that is actually the vocabulary section, is vocabulary bank 1A. Okay, let me see. So in here, we have the same pictures, but in here, they're very small. So that's why I didn't want you to try it right in here, because it might be confusing to look and to identify the actions through the pictures because they're small. But now, if you need to check the slides, you can go back and check the slides and it could be easier. So now you try it. See? Camila, Fernando. Okay, Diana, good. Kevin, Anthony. Okay. But I think everybody else should be trying this now. Ana, Fabiana, Ronald, another like, Monica. I'm missing Paula here. Carlos. I think Carlos, you did it already, right? Diana, she finished too. Kevin, ¿dónde está Kevin? Camila, Gaby Macías. Where is it, Gaby Macías? Okay, Vero, Ana. Okay, let me reload it again. I should have everybody else by now. Ana, Fabiana, Ron. Okay, I'll give you time, okay?
I finish.
Okay. Check. Because we have to keep on every practice in here. Okay. Okay, that was just the first one, but let me see this one. This is vocabulary practice number 2, and this is the right verbs. Okay, let's see. And this is related to the confusing verbs, right? There's 2 different options. Who do you look like in your family, or who do you look in your family? So which
Look like.
look like, right? Because now we know that look like is when you're comparing your physical appearance that could be similar to someone in your family, right? This is like physical appearance description. Good. How many classes have you lost or missed this year?
Miss.
Missed,
Yeah.
right? Because you might lose a game, but you might miss a class. So if we're talking about classes, it's missing classes. Good. What gadgets do you always take or bring with you when you go on a holiday?
Bring.
Remember the picture? There was a girl bringing a dictionary, right? And there was someone taking, I think it was something taking a picture, so it's not really the same. En español decimos llevar, right? But in English, we use different verbs. What gadgets will you usually bring with you when you go on a holiday? Do you think sports people win or earn too much money? If we're talking about money.
Earn.
Earn. If we're talking about money, you earn money. You earn a salary, you earn a bonus, you earn commissions. So everything related with financial resources is earning. What is the best way to know or to meet new people or new friends?
To meet new people.
To meet. So you know, when you know someone for a long time, he or she has been your friend for years. But if you're meeting someone for the first time, new people is meet. Okay. Is it sometimes tell a lie or okay to say? Is it sometimes? So what do you think? This is very tricky. What do you think?
Tell a lie.
Tell a lie. Okay. What about the others? What do you think? I think there's something missing in here, right? I think that the sentence is missing something else at the end. I think the word lie should be at the very end, not in there, right? And then it could be easier. Is it sometimes okay or okay to say, and then lie should be like not in the square, not in the options. So you say it's still a lie. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. I think there's something missing in there. Okay, it was fine, but this one was not fine. So in here, instead of being bring, let me see what was the right answer. I think there was two different, bring and take, right? Take, okay. So that one was very tricky too. So what gadgets do you always take when you go? Oh, so it might be because there's something you're taking somewhere else, right? It's not something you're bringing here. That might be the difference, but that was tricky. Definitely kind of tricky. Okay. So I think that's all the vocabulary, right? That was all the practices. See. Okay, let me see if everybody's done. Okay. And here I should have everyone already. Fabiana, okay, Gabby, Paula. Okay, you try it again. Yeah, you can try it again. Because we had one mistake. Okay. And it might be confusing for us because we don't usually use those verbs every day, right? So it's always challenging because we don't speak a foreign language. So it might take a lot of practice for us to identify when to use this verb and when not to use that verb for this situation or for the other situation. Cristel and Fabian. Okay, so I think most of you are done. Let me see, Anthony, Anna, Carlos,
Sí, ya lo terminé.
Okay. Yeah, let me reload it again. Because this is what I usually, it takes. Okay. Verónica. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me see, let me see. Okay, match the words to their definitions. I think I have that in my slides. Let me see. Let me see if it's okay. See. Okay, you know what? Let's try that on the slides first. Because I was able to even grab some pictures. These are words that we might not use every day. So this could be really challenging too. And this is related to the weather, right? Or things or different weather situations that might happen when we are on a holiday, okay? So when you're on a holiday, you might experience a monsoon, a earthquake, a tsunami, a cyclone, a blizzard, a flood, or a forest fire. And it could happen not just on a holiday, it could happen anywhere in the world. Right now, we are having a lot of rain. It's really rainy. But if rain continues to happen every day for months, remember Fenómeno del Niño? That they were saying that, oh, the Fenómeno del Niño is coming. And the whole city was getting ready for heavy rains. If the rain continues to happen every day for months, it is not just a rainy season, it becomes a monsoon. A monsoon is a very heavy rain that could be going for months. So it could be something similar to Fenómeno del Niño. But in English, that is called monsoon. Very interesting. That was a new word for me too, but I am learning. So I was able to grab some pictures so it could be easier for you to understand. And what do you think, which one of these could be number 2? And they give you the definitions. You know what? Let's read the definitions. So letter E could be defined when it rains very heavily for 3 months or more. So that is a monsoon. What about number 2? What could be the right definition? Yes.
G. When the ground suddenly shakes very strongly.
When the ground suddenly shakes very strong. So when this happens, it becomes a earthquake. So that will be letter G, right? Good. What about a tsunami? What could be the definition for a tsunami?
Letter B. A very large wave in the sea.
A very letter B. B or C? B. Oh, okay.
B.
A very large wave in the sea. It is a huge, gigantic wave. When it gets to the ground, it will destroy like everything. So water can take everything away, and it's a really huge disaster, a tsunami. A very large wave in the sea. Good. What about a cyclone? What could be the right definition?
Letter B.
B.
Very strong wind that moves in a circle.
A very strong wind that moves in a circle. So I could even grab a picture, right? That is how a cyclone look like, right? It's a huge it's like a circle made of a wind, right? But it will destroy everything too. It's a big disaster. What about number 5? What could be the
Letter A.
Can you read it?
Yes, a very bad storm with snow and strong winds.
Very cold, but it's not just the cold weather. There's a snowstorm with a strong wind. So it's I think right now in some of the countries in Europe and I think in the States, they are experiencing winter time. And during winter time, there might be a lot of blizzards, a lot of snowstorm. Good. What about number 6, a flood?
Letter
When
A.
too much water in the river and it comes onto the street on fires.
Good. So a flood, it could be defined as when there is too much water in a river and it comes on the street or fields. It happens in the coast side of our country, right? When we have a lot of rain, there might be a lot of floods too. And what about number 7? And Monica, can you? Excuse me?
Letter C, a big fire that can destroy many trees and houses.
And houses. Okay, good. So, and here we only have to add the letters. Can you please match the definitions with the disaster words? So, and do not forget, please, to add your names. I'm really glad that you were able to find all the definitions really quick. I think the pictures might help too, because I didn't know what was a monsoon, for example, or a blizzard. Carlos, thank you. Okay, yeah, can you make it a little bit smaller? Thank you. Okay, good. I'm really happy. We could do this really quick. Good. So if there is words that now the whole idea is that we're gonna use these words in different types of context. So this is just the definitions first. Now that we know the meaning of each of the terms, we're going to use them. Okay, so let me see what comes next. Yeah, can you please add your names? Don't worry if more than one people find the word. If you want to add your name too, if you work on the definition, if you help me reading it, it's fine, okay? Because this is important for me. This is what I consider like class participation. So it's really useful. Now, we're gonna talk about this couple. So this is the Svanstrom family. I think they're European, and they became famous for being a family, a couple that survived 7 natural disasters. So they were on a holiday, and when you're on a holiday, you expect to have a wonderful time, right? But for this family, their holiday became a nightmare. So this is what we're gonna listen to what happened to Mr. and Mrs. Svanstrom, and we're gonna mark the route on the map. What natural disaster happened in each of the places? So they were traveling through different countries, but they were kind of, they had like a route, right? They had like a trip schedule, so they will go to one place first, and then they will travel to another country and to another country. But sadly, there were a lot of different natural disasters throughout the whole traveling trip, right? So throughout the holiday trip. So this is the map, and these are some of the countries they were supposed to visit. I mean, and they did they did go to these places, but they experienced some of these very bad natural disasters. So something happened in each of the different countries. So we're gonna listen to find out what happened and where did it happen. Okay, so let me see. I think we have to go back to Moodle for the audio because I don't have the audio in here. Let me see. Let's go back. I'll show you. Okay, the definitions. Oh, okay, this is what we were doing, right? I don't know if you all finished this. The definitions. Let me see. Okay, Camila, Ana, Fernando. Okay, Anthony, Fabiana, Kevin. Okay. So can you know what? Before doing the listening task.
Please just terminate.
Okay, yes, I was about to ask you to finish this because then we might skip this. And the whole idea is that we complete all of this. Okay, let me see. Ana, Anthony, Kevin. Okay, Diana, Anadalai, Gaby, Vero, Maria Los Ángeles. I think Crystal, where is Crystal? Raisha, ¿dónde está Ronald? Gaby, Diana, Carlos. I think Carlos, you're done, right? Maria Los Ángeles. Okay. I'll give you some time, okay? And you let me know when you're done so we can move to the listening. Because I think there's Ronald already trying. These are the definitions, so it shouldn't take too long. Let me see. Okay, we only have to drag the numbers. Oh no, the letters. Okay. Okay, let me see. So these are the definitions. Okay. Vero. Carl. Okay. So you're about to finish. Okay, let's go to, let me get the audio. Okay. Okay. So let's go through the map first. This is the map, right? So these are the countries. So they were supposed to move through. We don't know where did they start the trip. I mean, the whole expedition, where did it start? We have to listen. But we can see some of the countries, right? We can see Japan, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand, Bali, Sweden, Stockholm, Munich, Germany. Okay, so these are some of the countries we can see on the map, right? And this is the route. So there were different routes throughout the trip, right? Route number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 11. And that's the first row, right? Just the countries they visit. And on the second row, there's the disaster that happened in each of the different countries. So in here, we have to listen to guess what the country is and what was the natural disaster happening in each of the different places they visit. As you can see, natural disasters did not happen in each of the countries, just in some of them. That's why we have to pay attention to the listening, to the audio. Okay, so we're gonna start from here and we should be finishing up to location number 11. And below, there's the disaster that we have to guess and we have to type it in. I think we don't have to type because everything is in here. So these are the different places. China, Munich, Stockholm, cyclone, Perth, Thailand, forest fires, Auckland, Brisbane, earthquake and tsunami, a blizzard, floods, monsoon, Bali, Tokyo, and Cairns. Okay, so these are the different places. So let's listen.
4.6.
And to finish our programme today, the incredible story of a Swedish couple who went on holiday and survived no fewer than 7 natural disasters. Stefan and Erika Svanström started their 4-month trip last December. They were travelling with their young baby daughter. First, they flew from Stockholm to Munich, but when they arrived in Munich, they couldn't get their connecting flight to Thailand because there was a terrible blizzard in South Germany, the worst snowstorm for 100 years. They had to wait at the airport for 24 hours. Mrs. Svanström said,
"We just thought things will get better."
When they finally got to Thailand, they had a relaxing few weeks, but that was the last time they could really relax. From Thailand, they flew to the island of Bali in Indonesia, a popular holiday destination. When they arrived in Bali, they were expecting blue skies and sun, but what they got were terrible monsoon rains, the worst monsoons for many years. Mrs. Svanström said,
"Now we're thinking, what will happen next?"
They decided not to stay in Bali, but to go to Australia. They flew to Perth in Western Australia, but hours after they arrived, Perth suffered terrible forest fires and the streets were full of smoke. They travelled north to Cairns and arrived just in time for Cyclone Yasi, one of the worst cyclones ever to hit the city. They had to leave their hotel and spend 24 hours in a shopping centre with 2,500 other people. Could things get any worse? Yes, they could. The Svanström family left Cairns and travelled south to Brisbane to visit friends, but the city was suffering from the worst floods in its history. So they left Brisbane and booked a flight to Christchurch in New Zealand. But just before their plane left Brisbane, some friends phoned them to say that Christchurch had been hit by an earthquake and a large part of the city was destroyed. Their plane landed in another city, Auckland. They travelled around New Zealand for a while and then they flew to Japan. On March the 11th, they were having lunch in a restaurant in Tokyo when suddenly everything began to shake. It was an earthquake, 9 on the Richter scale and one of the worst that ever hit Japan. And after the earthquake came a devastating tsunami. Fortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Svanström and their child were not hurt. They travelled from Japan to China for the last part of their holiday. Luckily, they didn't have any more natural disasters, and they arrived safely home in Stockholm on the 29th of March. Mr. Svanström said,
"We have learned that in life you should always expect the worst, but hope for the best. Also, you need to be prepared for anything."
Okay. So that was the whole traveling destinations they were supposed to enjoy, but sadly they experienced some very difficult times. So this, as you can see, these are the different places and the order they arrived into each of these. So starting from number 1 up to number 11. So where did they start? I mean, where the whole expedition started? Where did they leave from? Anyone? If you do, would you like me to play the audio again? We can play it as many times as needed.
Yes, teacher, can you play it again, please?
Of course. Okay. Let me just like explain the whole what do we need to do. So this is a family that they were going on a holiday trip. They visited different countries, but they experienced some very bad natural disasters. So this is the route they follow from the first place up to the last place. Okay, we have to listen again and try to identify which countries did they visit and what happened in each of the different places. Okay, if you want, this is what I did, and I have my little notebook in here. I'm trying to do it myself too, and you can draw the route from like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So as we move through, we're gonna try to find the different places and the natural disasters, okay? If you want to write it down or take notes, go ahead, okay? And then together, we'll try to guess what happened first and then after, and then, okay, let's try it again. And these are the different, we don't have to type anything, but in here we have the different places already. So we have, these are the different locations, the different countries or cities. Some of them are countries, some of them are cities within countries. So we're talking about China. Which of these are actually countries? Not cities. Is Bali a country? Which one? Anthony?
China.
China.
Okay, China. Any other countries?
Thailand. Thailand.
Okay, China, Thailand, any other countries? And here?
I don't know where is Brisbane.
Which one? Brisbane.
Brisbane.
Brisbane. You know what? Let me look for that. Brisbane. Okay, where is it? Oh, I got it. Let me show it to you because we're gonna be learning something about countries too. Brisbane, according to, is located in Australia. And these are different pictures from Brisbane. Okay, this is how it looks like. It's a big city, but it's located in Australia. Any other places you don't know where they are located? So we can have like a clear idea. Let me see. Stockholm. Let me see. Let me grab that. I think that's Switzerland, right? Let me see. Okay. I'll show you. In Spanish, it's called Estocolmo, but in English, it's called Stockholm, like this. Let me see. And it is located in
Sweden. Sweden.
Location, Sweden, right? Sweden. It's the capital of Sweden, and this is how it looks like. The different places. Okay, so it's another big city. Any other places? Let me see. Let's keep looking. Perth. Do you know where is Perth? Okay, let's look for.
No.
Okay, let me see. Perth. Okay, I think I know, but let me make sure. Okay, I got it. This is Perth. If you want, you can like look for it too, but I think it's really needed. So Perth is another big city in Australia. Okay, so this is how Perth looks like. Very nice, right? Okay, any other places? Let me see. Let's keep looking.
Auckland.
Auckland. Okay, sure. Auckland. Wait. Auckland. Ay. Mouse is acting weird. Auckland. Location. Let me see. Okay, I got it. I'll show it to you now. Auckland. Auckland is a city located in New Zealand. And this is how Auckland looks like. Very nice. The museum. Very nice places. It has like a coastal side. Big city, big buildings. Okay, any other places? Let's keep knowing, let's keep traveling.
Munich.
Munich. Okay, Munich. I think I know, but let's keep traveling. Munich. Okay, I got it. Munich is actually located in Germany. It's the is a city located in Germany. Look at how beautiful Munich looks like. Very nice. Nice churches and historical places. Wow. Very nice. Looks like Cuenca a little bit, right? I mean the big church. Okay, any other places? Let me see. I think there was another place. Cairns. I don't know where that is located. Cairns. Cairns location. Oh, look at this. Keep traveling. Look at this. So Cairns is a city located in Australia, but it's kind of very pretty. It's like a city, is a location close to the sea, right? Like in the coast side of Australia. Well, Australia is surrounded by water, right? But very nice. So it's actually located in a beautiful, right? I feel like I'm flying there already. Okay, any other places? Any other places you would like me to show you? Where are they located? I think we have everything, right? If we talk about natural disasters, which are the ones we have to pay really close attention? Natural disasters, can you name some of them within the different options? Anyone? Paula, Nancy, Anthony, Gabby, Fernando.
Cyclone.
A cyclone. Okay, that is one. Any other?
Earthquake and tsunami.
Earthquakes and tsunamis. Okay.
A monsoon.
A monsoon.
A blizzard.
A blizzard. What was a monsoon again?
It's raining very hard for 3 days. Yes?
Yeah, it's like a heavy rain season that can last for months. For me, I try to relate it to Fenómeno del Niño, but it's not really like that, but it's like similar, right? Because it's heavy rain. Okay, any other? So we name blizzard. Blizzard is like a snowstorm, right? But really windy, really cold. And so
Forest fires, I mean.
Forest fires. Okay. So are we ready to listen? I think we are, right? So now I think we are ready. Okay, let's listen again. What happened to this family?
4.6. And to finish our program today, the incredible story of a Swedish couple who went on holiday and survived no fewer than 7 natural disasters. Stefan and Erika Svanström started their 4-month trip last December. They were travelling with their young baby daughter. First, they flew from Stockholm to Munich, but when they arrived in Munich, they couldn't get their connecting flight to Thailand because there was a terrible blizzard in South Germany, the worst snowstorm for 100 years. They had to wait at the airport for 24 hours. Mrs. Svanström said,
"We just thought things will get better."
When they finally got to Thailand, they had a relaxing few weeks, but that was the last time they could really relax. From Thailand, they flew to the island of Bali in Indonesia, a popular holiday destination. When they arrived in Bali, they were expecting blue skies and sun, but what they got were terrible monsoon rains, the worst monsoons for many years. Mrs. Svanström said,
"Now we're thinking, what will happen next?"
They decided not to stay in Bali, but to go to Australia. They flew to Perth in Western Australia, but hours after they arrived, Perth suffered terrible forest fires and the streets were full of smoke. They travelled north to Cairns and arrived just in time for Cyclone Yasi, one of the worst cyclones ever to hit the city. They had to leave their hotel and spend 24 hours in a shopping centre with 2,500 other people. Could things get any worse? Yes, they could. The Svanström family left Cairns and travelled south to Brisbane to visit friends. but the city was suffering from the worst floods in its history. So they left Brisbane and booked a flight to Christchurch in New Zealand. But just before their plane left Brisbane, some friends phoned them to say that Christchurch had been hit by an earthquake and a large part of the city was destroyed. Their plane landed in another city, Auckland. They travelled around New Zealand for a while and then they flew to Japan. On March the 11th, they were having lunch in a restaurant in Tokyo when suddenly everything began to shake. It was an earthquake, 9 on the Richter scale and one of the worst that ever hit Japan. And after the earthquake came a devastating tsunami. Fortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Svanstrom and their child were not hurt. They travelled from Japan to China for the last part of their holiday. Luckily, they didn't have any more natural disasters, and they arrived safely home in Stockholm on the 29th of March. Mr. Svanstrom said,
"We have learned that in life you should always expect the worst, but hope for the best. Also, you need to be prepared for anything."
Okay, so can we now complete like the whole experience, like the whole route, like what happened? Where did they start the whole exploration, the whole trip? Where did everything start? So in here we
Sorry,
have,
teacher.
so
Can you repeat? I can listen.
where did the trip started?
From Stockholm to Munich.
Okay, so first they started in, this is where they are from. I think they are from Stockholm, right?
Yes.
So this is where they try to like they started the whole traveling experience, right? So let me see. So they should be here, right? And then they went to, so what was number 2? They moved
Munich.
to Munich.
Munich.
Okay. And then they went to Munich. Okay. And then
in Munich there was a huge blizzard.
A huge blizzard. So it was really cold and there was a huge, very bad blizzard. And then, sorry, blizzard. And then where did they go on the third location?
They went to Thailand.
And then they moved to Thailand. Is it right, everybody? Do you agree? Did they move to Thailand? Right? Okay, so then we know that they went to Thailand. Let me make it smaller. This is getting kind of difficult for me to move the words, but in here we only have to like drag the words. So then they went to Thailand. And then from Thailand, they traveled to
Bali, and
Bali.
there was a monsoon.
A monsoon. Bali is like a paradise. It's like a tropical paradise destination. Beautiful beach, beautiful, you know, the sand and the water, but it could also be very easy to experience this kind of disaster, right? Like heavy rain, and that is called a monsoon. That's what we know by now. Then after staying in Bali, they traveled to
Australia, to Perth.
Australia. And now we know that Perth is a city located in Australia. So, and they moved to, where is it, Perth?
Perth is next to Cyclone.
Next to Cyclone, okay. But there was some natural disaster too in Perth, and that was
forest fire.
A forest. This is something that is very usual in Australia. This kind of natural disaster, like big fires, forest fires. And then they thought that the worst was over, but then they traveled to, where did they go after? Let me see.
Cairns.
Cairns, and Cairns is another city in Australia, right? Where is it, Cairns? Then they traveled to Cairns, and what happened in Cairns?
There was a cyclone.
There was a very bad cyclone, huge winds, and very, very bad. And then they traveled to number 7. Where did they go after?
I heard Brisbane.
Brisbane. Then they moved to Brisbane, and what happened in Brisbane? Let me see. I was trying to take notes too. If we
I
make
am not really sure, but there was a earthquake. I'm not sure.
Let me see. Earthquake. What do you think? I think the earthquake was not in Australia. I think it was somewhere else. Let me see. Let's try to listen again. Is there any other ideas? Anybody else? What was the natural disaster and happening in Brisbane? Or was it
Floods.
Auckland? Which one?
Floods.
Okay, a big flood. Okay, let me see. Floods. Let's try. And then after experiencing a very bad flood, they traveled to, what do you think? What was it? I think they moved to Asian countries, right? At the very end.
To New Zealand, but I didn't was able to hear the city, only the country, New Zealand, but
Okay.
the city no.
Is there anybody else? Summers, Diego, Fernando? Could you grab? Are you 100% sure? Where did they travel to? Anthony, Gabby, Diana, Kevin? No? Paulita, Nancy, and Adelaide?
To Auckland.
Auckland. So they went because okay, let me see. Let's see. Auckland. And what happened in Auckland? Let me see. We had a natural disaster in there. It looks like it didn't happen. And then they moved to Asia, right? That's what I think. Where did they go to?
Tokyo.
To Tokyo, right? And what happened in Tokyo?
Earthquake and tsunami.
There's it's this. I don't know why. I don't know that much about weather or geography, but I think it's due to the geographical location that it's very common in these Asian cities to experience earthquakes, right? And tsunamis. And then what happened? Where did they go to? Anything else, Crystal and Adelaide?
China.
Then they moved to China. Let me see, China. And then finally,
They returned to Stockholm.
they went back. Finally, at least they could go back to where they are, where they're from, right? Where they started the whole exploration, the whole expedition. Okay, let's see. Can we listen again? Let me listen just half of the audio, just to make sure that everything is fine.
They flew to Perth in Western Australia,
Okay,
but
Perth.
hours after they arrived, Perth suffered terrible forest fires and the streets were full of smoke.
Okay.
They travelled north to Cairns and arrived just in time for Cyclone Yassi, one of the worst cyclones ever to hit the city. They had to leave their hotel and spend 24 hours in a shopping centre with 2,500 other people. Could things get any worse? Yes, they could. The Svanstrom family left Cairns and travelled south to Brisbane to visit friends, but the city was suffering from the worst floods in its history. So they left Brisbane and booked a flight to Christchurch in New Zealand. But just before their plane left Brisbane, some friends phoned them to say that Christchurch had been hit by an earthquake and a large part of the city was destroyed. Their plane landed in another city, Auckland. They travelled around New Zealand for a while and then they flew to Japan. On March the 11th, they were having lunch in a restaurant in Tokyo when suddenly everything began to shake. It was an earthquake, 9 on the Richter scale and one of the worst that ever hit Japan. And after the earthquake came a devastating tsunami, Fortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Svanstrom and their child were not hurt. They travelled from Japan to China for the last part of their holiday. Luckily, they didn't have any more natural disasters, and they arrived safely home in Stockholm on the 29th of March.
Okay.
Mr. Svanstrom said,
We have learned that in life you should always expect the worst, but hope for the best. Also, you need to be prepared for anything.
Okay. Again, that was kind of a Murphy's Law. It was meant to happen. Okay, so let me see how you did. Okay, let me see. Okay, did you try it? Okay, let me see what happened with Paulita. Paulita, maybe you missed one. Did we make one mistake? So first it was, let me see, according to this, they went first to Tokyo and then to China. Oh, okay. So that was the mistake. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay, everybody else is fine. Good. Let me see Carlitos. Okay. Let's look at Veronica's attempt. Okay, Vero. Okay, so this is how the whole, this is how they move, right, from different locations. Okay, good. Very nice. I'm impressed because it would have been hard if we didn't go through the vocabulary first. But I think that was helpful. Nancy, okay, Nancy, you're trying again. Chris, okay, I'll give you time. Okay, I'll give you time. Okay, let me see. I think we are done. Okay. Okay, there's only one more. I think we have time. There's only one more listening and we're gonna be done. It's actually, let me see. It's this one, right? Okay, it's the last quiz, I think, for Unit 8B. And it's actually this one. And here I think we have to write. But let me see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, we don't have to write either. The options are already here. Okay, so this is about the same, the story of the same family, right? The Svanstrom family. But these are the questions. So these are different questions. They're not going to be asking you for locations or natural disasters, but for very specific information. 1, how long did they have to wait at Munich airport? That's the first one. What weather were they expecting in Bali, but did not happen? Number 3, what were the streets full of smoke? In which of the cities? Number 4, where did they sleep in cairns? And number 5, why did they fly to Auckland and not to Christchurch in New Zealand? So they kind of change plans, right? So instead of going to Christchurch, they fly to Auckland. Number 6, what were they doing when the Japanese earthquake struck? And finally, where did they go for the last part of their holiday? Did anything happen to them there? Okay, what do you think? Okay, now help me. Anthony, what do you think about the first one? How long did they have to wait at Munich? And these are the different options. So
24 hours.
Might be, right? Because we're asking for time. Okay, let's see. Could be. Good, Anthony. Crystal, number 2. What was the weather when, oh no, what weather were they expecting in Bali? If Bali is a beautiful tropical island, kind of a paradise, what kind of weather they might have been expected to experience?
24 hours.
Which one?
24 hours.
24 hours, that was the first one. We are guessing now because we might have to listen again to make sure.
Okay,
Number 2. What were the weather? Maybe sunny, right? Because Bali, I don't know if I show you how Bali looks like, but it's like beautiful. Kevin, what do you think?
Sunny weather.
Sunny, right? It's like a beautiful paradise island. So if you are traveling to a place like that, you're expected to be like wonderful, right? Sunny, amazing. But it did not happen. Number 3. Where were the streets full of smoke? In which of these cities? What do you think?
Perth.
Perth. Why Perth? Let me see. What happened in Perth? There was a forest fire, right? So it makes sense that the streets were full of smoke. Okay, let me see. Full of smoke. Perth. Okay. What about number 4? What do you think? Diana. Where did they sleep in Cairns? I didn't get that. Let's look at the different.
In a shopping center.
They had to sleep in there because what happened in Cairns? Let me see my notes. There was a cyclone, right? So they had to stay inside a mall just to stay for the night and till like everything went back to normal. So they had to stay inside of a shopping center. Okay. And then 5. Who wants to go for 5? Raisha, Fabiana, Summers, Gabi, Carlos. Why did they fly to Auckland and not to Christchurch? What happened?
Because Auckland hit by an earthquake.
Because they knew that in Christchurch, the city had been hit by a earthquake, so they decided not to go there and to go to, and then instead of going to Christchurch, they went to New Zealand, to Auckland. I'm sorry, to Auckland. So they changed the plan. And then number 6, what were they doing when the Japanese earthquake struck?
We were
Having lunch.
They were having lunch. They were having lunch when they realized that there was suddenly everything started to shake, right, to move. They were actually having lunch. What about number 7? Where did they go for the last part?
They went to China, nothing happening.
They went to China, right? So they finally went to China, but nothing happened. Luckily, nothing happened. And that, I think that's it, right? Fernando, now that you're back, we are working on, this is the last test, the last quiz. And this is the listening section. I think that's the last one. So this is, I'll give you time so you can finish this one and then we'll be done. Let me see if there is something else. I think I added something else. I don't know if I could. Okay. I managed to do something else. There's like a, there is something that I uploaded. It's a PDF file, but if you click in there, it will show you this. Let me see. See if you can see it now. See. Okay, there you go. So this is kind of a speaking practice. we can do it now. I mean, that's the whole idea, because if we need time, we could do it right now. So these are some questions for you about first conditional. Okay, so this is what we're gonna be doing. Okay, I will choose one of you, and then you're gonna choose a partner and you're gonna ask him or her one of these questions. It's up to you to decide which question you want to ask him or her, and that will be the last activity. Okay, so let's try it. Let's go for this. So Diana, you start. So choose one of the questions and you're gonna be student A. Which question would you like to ask one of your classmates? And this is about first conditional. Just choose one. What would you do if you can't sleep tonight? I might have some students who might have trouble to sleep or trying to find some sleep. What would you do if your TV breaks next week? It might be, instead of the TV, we can say your phone. What could you do? What will you do if you get lots of homework? That's another question. Another question, what will you eat if you're hungry at midnight tonight? It might happen. What if you want to relax after class, what will you watch? If you don't eat breakfast tomorrow, will you feel hungry or not? Will you ask your teacher for help if you have questions? Okay. Will you get a cat if you decide to get a new pet? Or what will you do if our last class is canceled tomorrow? What will you do? Let's pretend the Universidad Católica says, Academia de Idiomas, okay, we're not having classes on Sunday. Classes will be canceled. What will you do? That's an interesting question. Fabiana, what will you do? If you're free tomorrow, no classes. Anyone?
If I have no classes tomorrow, I will sleep till 10 a.m.
Me too. I will be sleeping till 11 a.m. till my body feels like aching. Oh, okay. What time it is? 11. Oh, nice. Okay. Is there anything else you will do if we don't have classes tomorrow? We're just pretending. Okay. This is not real.
It also could be very nice to go to the beach or to the river, to go to maybe to my grandma house,
Yeah,
my grandma's
to
house.
visit your family. Okay, good, good. Kevin says, I'll go to the beach. Good, of course. Why not? Will you ask your teacher for help if you have a question? What will you do? Monica? Any ideas? No? Let me see. There's more questions. There's plenty of questions. How will you feel if you fail your next test? Let's pretend you're having your final exam and you fail. How will you feel? Anybody?
I will feel upset.
Yeah. Upset, disappointed, sad, discouraged. I don't know, but there might be feelings like those, right? Paula, will you laugh at your friend's joke if it isn't funny? What will you do? What is a funny?
I think I will
You
fake laugh and be sarcastic and say something like, oh, really funny.
Yeah, you cannot be sarcastic. Good, thank you, Paula. Crystal, if you decide to eat out later, which restaurant will you go to? What do you think?
Number six, ¿verdad?
Ajá. If you decide, you and your friends, which restaurant will you go to? Which is your favorite restaurant?
9.
Which one?
Restaurant 9.
If you decide to go out, where will you go? If I can go out with my friends, I'll go to our favorite.
I will go to my
Uh-huh.
restaurant. I will go to my restaurant.
Okay, good. Yeah. If you can name one of your favorite choices, I don't know, it could be a Mexican restaurant. You could name an Italian restaurant, a pizza place. Okay. Nancy, what time will you go to bed if you are really tired tonight? If you're really tired.
Really tired. I will go to bed at 10 p.m. 10 p.m.
And 10 p.m. is not too early. I could go to bed even earlier than that. If you're really tired. But 10?
Because early, I wake up early morning.
Yeah, that's right. If you go to bed early, then you will be waking up early, too early. So that's not the idea, right?
4 a.m., for example.
4 a.m. We know 4 a.m. That's too early. Okay. Where is it? Monica. If you have some free time on Saturday, will you study more English at home or not? If you have free time.
Maybe. I go to my family shopping.
Yeah, of course. I'm not going to be studying, right? Because this is, I mean, we have been studying up to 1 p.m. And then after 1 p.m., just go and relax and go somewhere, visit your family or you know what. Yeah, just relax.
Maybe studying the night.
Yeah, at night, but not on Saturdays, right? Good. Okay, so this is something you could use. We can still be using to practice some. I mean, it's really not worth doing all the practice if we don't do the speaking practice. I know for some of you it might be really easy, but for some of you this is really needed. Okay, I will keep this on the platform. This could be used as a final question bank for the final exam. So this because these are very interesting questions. These are questions that we can easily now answer, right? If I ask you, if you get lots of homework today, how will you feel? Another lie. If you get a lot of homework, what if I start asking you to do a lot of things to do? A lot of homework, how will you feel?
If I had a lot of homework, I would feel homework. Help.
Like help. I will feel like really bad. I will feel tired already just to look at the amount of homework. But I'm not going to ask you to do any homework. I want you to relax. I want you to, you have been working a lot. It's been 4 hours. So, and that will be it. We're not going to go through Unit 8C. We'll go to Unit 8C tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to stop here. Thank you for your participation. You've been really helpful. We were able to finish before 1 because of your really brilliant minds and your cooperation.